Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of MMA Productions. This is actually the second take of this video because Freedom 250 was a fantastic card, and I'm going to be giving my reactions, and fight breakdowns, as well as what I think the next matches should be for the winners and losers on this card. I'm at a loss for words on this card. Like I said, this is my second take. Because the first one I recorded immediately after to get that feeling of like, wow, that just happened, which, we'll get into what happened. But I was so frazzled that I didn't actually do the matchmaking until I got up here in my head. And I just kind of blew through it. And I was so frazzled at just everything that just happened that I didn't really know what to say. This card was incredible. A lot of amazing stuff happened. Starting off with, before I even get into it, I need to apologize to Justin Gaethje. I made a lot of jokes about him in my prediction video. I completely counted him out. I said he was going to die. I said it wasn't going to be close. It wasn't even going to be funny. But, wow. He destroyed Ilia Topuria. There's no other way to put it. Just jabbed the hell out of him. Destroyed his face. Probably broke some bones in his face. Doctor almost stopped it after I believe it was round 3. They let it go on a little bit longer. Ilia just couldn't get away from the jab, man. Ilia had moments where he looked good, but, Gaethje in his post-fight said he just needed to make it to the championship rounds, and he was right. I mean, Ilia just got damaged so badly throughout the fight. It's like he had nothing to do. He had no response. Ilia's had his defensive issues, but I guess Justin's power was just a little bit too much. I mean, the man beat Volk, Max, and Charles back to back to back. And Justin Gaethje is the man to defeat Ilia Topuria. Second big American upset this year. All props to Justin Gaethje. Fantastic out there. Completely destroyed my perception of Ilia Topuria. I thought he was unbeatable. I got goosebumps when I heard his walkout. He's beatable. I'm not going to say I don't know how him versus Patty or him versus Arman would go. That's somewhat unfair. I think Justin Gaethje is better than we thought. But, wow. Fantastic job to Justin Gaethje. Congratulations to him. He deserves all the praise in the world for that. It was one-sided traffic the whole way through. I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. I've just never seen somebody like Ilia look that average against anybody. Justin beat Ilia better than Sean beat Hamza very comfortably. The jab was there. Ilia was getting into some hooks that looked like he hurt him. He had Justin hurt bad, and I think it was the second or third round. I'm already losing track. My brain's fried from that card because it was incredible. No finish, not a single decision on that card. The latest we saw was round 4 from those two. Not even another round 3. Just Justin jabbing it up. Not really hitting much. Got Ilia in the north-south a couple times. Ilia had him against the cage, ripped a bunch of liver shots. I thought it was over. Ilia takes him to the ground, starts chasing submissions. Probably should have let him up and tried to finish the job. Justin survives on the ground, makes it through the rounds, and continues to just jab him up. Doctor stopped it after the 4th round. All props to Justin, man. Unbelievable fight from him. Unbelievable performance. Probably his greatest ever. Definitely his crowning achievement, and he's undisputed now. He finally got that. After having every other belt, basically, he finally got the undisputed. I think just puts him over Dustin all time, personally. Some people might think I'm crazy for that, but they have similar losses and similar wins. Man, I just can't believe what I just watched. And my other recording, I already deleted it because it was unusable. It was completely incomprehensible to anyone but me. I was just completely frazzled the entire time. I kept going back to it, and I'm probably going to keep thinking about it. And this might keep me up at night, thinking about how much I hyped Ilia Topuria up to my family just for them to watch him get absolutely destroyed. But into the matchmaking portion. I don't know. This really throws lightweight for a loop for me. There's a lot of things throwing lightweight into a loop. I'll start off with the losers. You got to run Ilia Arman. Arman he's busy being a wrestler and an influencer. I don't think he deserves that title shot yet. And also he beat Dan Hooker, big whoop. Yeah, I think you finally run Ilia versus Arman. We put that debate to rest finally. I can't believe it's a debate now. I thought Ilia would destroy Arman, but I still think Ilia beats Arman, personally. Maybe Justin just had the recipe for it. Maybe the power of jab was a lot too much for Ilia, I guess. Man, I don't know. That's just crazy. I think him versus Armand. I don't even think. I think that's undebatable. We finally get to see that. I think that's perfect. For Justin, man, I don't know. I think I mean, it's good because we can. I say we run him versus Charles. Charles is definitely the most accomplished lightweight right now. And I'm not. I don't want to run the rematch with Patty. I also have the winner of BSD versus Patty on there. I don't like that much. I got to be honest. Ilya's going to be out for a long time, actually. Maybe not him versus Armand. Maybe you run Ilya versus the loser of BSD Patty. But I'll stick with Armand for now. I don't know who to give Justin. I think it's Charles probably. There's an argument for Max if he beats Connor. Not as much, but I think you just give it to Charles at this point. You unify the BMF and the main belt. I think that's the way to go at this point. Charles gets another title shot that he's earned, coming off his win over Gamrot and Max. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Getting into our co-main event, I want to like Cyril Gahn more than you can understand. Fantastic fighter, very skilled, very fast, good fight IQ, but the cheating is inexcusable. He was beating Pereira. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to take that away from him. He beat Pereira. He was probably going to beat him either way from there. There was 10 to 13 shots to the back of the head. He cheats in every fight he's in. And he doesn't have to. That's the part that irritates me. And there's rules, whatever, you could say what you want about eye pokes and low blows. Shots to the back of the head are illegal for a reason. They're incredibly dangerous. They lead to brain damage, paralysis, just body dysfunctions. And Gahn doesn't seem to care about risking the livelihood of the other person. Obviously, none of them care about risking the livelihood of the other person. Don't get me wrong. They're all fighters. But there's a certain maliciousness to it to me. I don't think he does it on purpose. I think the refs just excuse it for whatever reason. But that doesn't change that it was a fantastic performance from Gahn. Piecing him up with the jab, getting him with kicks. Into the second round, rocks him really bad, gets him on the ground, and it was just over from there. TKO's Pereira against the cage. Props to Pereira for getting up. But getting into Pereira's side of it now, just looks slow. Kind of like, Cyril Gahn's a very big, muscular, fit heavyweight. Pereira kind of had love handles and a big butt and stuff. I just don't know if he's meant for heavyweight or if he didn't, bulk up well. He didn't look like himself out there. He still lost to Gahn. Gahn still beat Alex Pereira. Don't get it twisted. All congratulations to Gahn. He looked incredible. It is also on the refs that they allow those kind of back of the head shots to happen. But getting into that fight, getting into the matchmaking for that, I think Pereira should retire. You've had a fantastic career in both kickboxing and MMA. I don't want to see you more at heavyweight. If anything, just go down. Probably fight for the belts again against maybe Ulberg if he's there. Yeah, I'd rather him retire, though. If he decides to stay at heavyweight, I'd give him Volkov. I think that's a fair fight to make. Volkov wins that. He gets a title shot. Pereira wins that. Probably another fight, maybe. Or he retires. I'm not sure. It's not even a question. We run Gahn versus Tom. There's no one else who really should get a title shot right now. I'm not trying to see Gahn versus Volkov 3. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Gahn versus Aspinall. There's no question. Unify that belt again. Gahn looked great. I mean, obviously he was beating Aspinall, quote unquote, barely, but I think that'll be an interesting fight still. I just really wish Gahn wouldn't cheat like this, man. And it is on the refs in the UFC for not punishing it. But he's a fantastic fighter. He looked great out there. He's the interim heavyweight champion, and he earned it. Because the main thing with the back of the head shots is that you'll see it in a lot of ground and pound where the fighter on top takes a lot of time to line up a shot to the ear so that they don't get penalized. Gahn wasn't doing that. In that scenario, Pereira would have had more time to recover. I don't know, it sounds like I'm making excuses for Pereira. I am. I'm heartbroken. The only two picks I got, I got some of the methods wrong and the timing wrong on this card. But other than that, I was right the whole time. And I don't think anyone predicted what Justin was going to do to Ilya. Fantastic performance from Gahn. Rest in peace, Pereira, and my soul. Getting into our next fight, Vintage O'Malley came out. I don't know why I said by decision. I overrated Iman. Pretty one-way traffic the whole time. Iman was slamming some low kicks. and low kicks and low kicks. That's all he was really doing. He barely threw his hands. O'Malley piecing him up, getting some good jabs to the body, getting some stinging shots here and there with the right hand, switching stances. If you listen to the commentary, you think it's a lot closer than it was. Iman might have won round one, but they were just glazing the hell out of these leg kicks that clearly didn't even really affect Sean. But Sean looked great. Round 2 KO, drops him twice. Some people are gonna say it's an early stoppage, but you can't get slumped like that twice and expect the refs to keep the fight going. I'm sorry. Getting into the matchmaking for the loser of I don't know. I have a lot of people I wanted to give Iman, if I'm being honest. It might be a bit early for them, but I think we need to get him out of there. I think the bantamweight rankings need to move a bit. Figgy and Cheeto are still both ranked, so I don't mind rushing some people through the division a little bit more. But I said you run Iman versus either the winner of Basharat versus Ethan Ewing or give him Peyton Talbot if he gets ranked below number 8. I think that's when you give him Basharat or Ewing. If he's still above number 8, I'd like to see him versus Peyton Talbot. Give Peyton Talbot somebody a little bit fresher, a little bit probably, I'd say, better than Cejudo in the state he beat him. Prove why he's there. You could even give him Raul Rosas Jr., but I don't like that. So I'll stick with probably the winner of Basharat versus Ethan Ewing. Sean's getting the title shot. I'm not even going to debate that. He took very little damage. I'd like to see this at UFC 329 or UFC 330. I think we can get it done very early. I know that's very quick turnaround for O'Malley, so it's a 50-50. But no damage. I don't know how hard that weight cut is for him. He looked great out there tonight. He looked like vintage O'Malley. I'd like to see him versus Jan again. I think it'd be an interesting fight. I think it'll be a close fight. Yeah. I think we're seeing another O'Malley title shot. I don't mind it at all. I think he earned it tonight, and I think he's proven why he deserves to be in the title picture still. I underrated him. I don't know why I said in my prediction video the hype train would end. It would have if he 29-28'd Iman, and he did lose the first round probably. Started off slow, but he was clearly just kind of figuring out the timing, hits him with a nasty straight in round 2, drops him, and then just gets him on his knees and then just finishes him from there. Hokit did exactly what I expected him to do. It looks like he's going to be meeting Lewis in the parking lot because he quit. And I'm gonna get on my Hokit rant again. All these people saying, "Oh my God, Hokit's so annoying. Boo hoo hoo. He makes fun of fighters' mommies and daddies. He said chama on your mama." Shut up. Like, why do you care so much about what these fighters do? If you never watched a single press conference from Hokit, you'd think he's funny. You'd think he's a fantastic fighter. You'd love him. But no, you watch the press conferences for some reason and let that determine your view of fighters. When Diaz is just as annoying, McGregor talked just as much crap. Cejudo was also hella annoying. I don't get people. We finally get an entertaining heavyweight and people are still hating. Yeah, I mean, it went exactly as expected. Derek Lewis landed, I think it was 8 significant strikes. I don't know where they were personally. But Hoke just starts piecing him up pretty comfortably, throwing some wheel kicks just to show he can, I guess. Tagging up Derek Lewis a bit late into the round, gets the takedown, gets some ground and pound, cuts him open bad over his left eyebrow. Nasty elbow. Hokie really was small, man. It felt like his legs weren't touching the ground when he was on mount for Derek Lewis. It felt like his knees were like dangling a little bit. But Transition's doing an armbar in the first round. Either he needs to work on his jiu-jitsu. I mean, I said jiu-jitsu doesn't work on Derek Lewis, but I don't know how he didn't get that armbar. He might have been trolling, but he seriously needs to work on his jiu-jitsu. I know he's more of a ground and pound guy, but I don't know. That armbar was weird. Gets into the second round. Lewis quits. Hoke just starts piecing him the hell up. It's like absolutely dominating him. Hits him hard a bunch of times and eventually gets him down late into the round. Yeah, but Hoke looked really good. Nasty double leg takedown in the first round. Did about what I expected him to do. Completely out-wrestled Lewis. And just pieced him up. Too fast, too good at hand speed, too good at head movement, too good at takedowns. I don't even want to matchmake Lewis, man. He just needs to be done. I don't know why he's here. He doesn't want to be there, clearly. I hope he retires. But in the meantime, I have him versus either Micah Parkin or Ante Delija. Just get rid of him, have somebody execute him, I guess. There's not much to say. Lewis is done. He's been done since the Waldo Cortez Acosta fight. This fight didn't show much about Hoke other than what we already knew. I don't need to match make Hoke. It's already been done for me. Sergey Pavlovich called him out. I think that's an excellent fight. I think it's a title eliminator, if I'm being honest. That would be 3 ranked wins for Hokit and a good streak for Pavlovich. They wants to run it in August in China. I love that. Hokit could probably fight sooner. I think they could both fight sooner, but they want to get their fight camps in. And that might be the biggest test for Hokit because he knew he could outstrike Derek Lewis, and he did it, not Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, and he did it pretty comfortably. And I don't think his wrestling needs work. But Sergey Pavlovich is a different type of comp, different level of striking than the people he's fought. Good wrestling, big size. I think it'll be the real test to see whether or not Hokit's champion level. I really want to see Hokit get to a belt. He's fantastic. Obviously, he's from my hometown, so I'm biased. But he looks great. I'm excited to see where Hokit goes. I'm very excited to see where he goes. His post-fight speech, I'm not going to repeat what he said. You can look it up. I don't want to maybe get demonetized. But yeah, good win from Hokit. Went exactly as I expected. Not exactly. Went a little bit longer than I expected. But yeah, moving on to our next fight. Huffy did it a little bit earlier than I expected. I underestimated a few fighters here. I thought it would take longer, but this card, clearly expectations were high for everyone there, and they wanted to get it done in a way that was entertaining. No decisions. I have to emphasize that. No decisions, no round threes. The only thing we saw go into a later round was Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria, and that became a doctor stoppage pretty much. I don't know. Topuria might have quit on the stool, but I'm not going to perpetuate that rumor because I don't think he did from what I saw. Mauricio Hufi looked like prime Connor out there, man. Like prime featherweight Connor. Really good footwork, really good use of the hands, showing some good looping stuff. Clearly stinging the hell out of Chandler. Landed a nasty body shot in round 1, in the round. I really like how he uses his wheel kicks. He controls the octagon with them. The way he gets them around the guard of people. Clearly hurt the hell out of Chandler with the first one. And then late into the first round, lands another wheel kick right around the guard. Chandler kind of stumbles in, no light behind the eyes. And this is after Chandler spent a good portion of the round literally running away from him. Like, getting stung really bad, just looping crosses, or looping hooks, a couple uppercuts, a couple straights, just genuinely running for his life against Hufi. I thought he was going to make it into the second round with how he was running. But no, Rufi lands a wheel kick on him, stings him bad. Chandler lands another punch after Chandler's almost out, hits him with an uppercut while he's on his knees, I'm pretty sure, and then just Chandler couldn't get off his knees. Got knocked out pretty much on his knees. Ref steps in, ends it. Huffy looks like a champ, man. I don't know how much he's improved his ground game since the BSD fight, working with Volk, but to me, there's a legitimate possibility he ends up champion soon. I'm really excited to see where he goes. I didn't even want to matchmake Chandler. I think he needs to retire for his own good, especially with who I'm about to give him, because I will be giving Michael Chandler the winner of Bobby Green versus McKinney. I think Green versus Chandler would be an entertaining fight. McKinney would highlight Chandler probably. So if he chooses not to retire, I think that's good. You get a bit of an unk off of the we've fought everyone who's anyone between Chandler and Green if that wins. I think I'm cooking with that personally, but I wanted to give Ruffy the loser of BSD Patty, give him a bit more of a test. His wins are Fiziev and Chandler. I don't think those are the best wins, even though I say he looks like a champ. Maybe, crap, I don't know if you can give him BSD. Like I said, lightweight's really hard right now, so I'll just give him the winner, or the loser of Patty BSD, because I think that's going to be Patty. So we're probably going to see Huffy versus Patty soon. Another one you want to maybe throw in there is Diego Lopez is rumored to move up to lightweight. Maybe you run Huffy versus Diego. That would be a crazy fight. I'll put that in the video. I'll put something there. I underrated Bo's stand and bang. Maybe overestimated Kyle Dawkins' toughness. Gets a good takedown early in. Gets some good ground and pound. Cuts him open. Ref stands him up maybe a little bit early. It was going how I thought it would go. Stally, kind of just holding positions. Bo putting some pressure on top. Dawkins threatened a couple subs. They get stood up. Bo lands, I think it was an overhand. Pretty nasty. Gets him to the ground. Stacks in his guard. Lands lots of elbows. You could argue it was an early stoppage, but Dawkins wasn't going to be able to defend himself. And those elbows go through the guard still. They weren't going around the guard, but that's still not good for your brain. Bo looked good out there. But for Kyle Dawkins, I don't know. Him versus getting cut from the UFC roster. Maybe Jun Young Park. I really don't know what to do with him at this point. I don't like unranked fights because I don't know where to put him when they lose. Because I mean, like, who cares? They're unranked fighters, and Kyle Dawkins. I don't know what to do with him next. I care about unranked fighters, but like, it's Kyle Dawkins, man. What am I supposed to do with him? He beat Michelle Pereira. Maybe you give him Shara Magomedov if Shara wins his fight with Pereira. I don't know. Or Piera. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I said Bo Nickel versus... I'd like to see him versus Altebagate for a chance at the top 15. I think they both need to prove who they are against an opponent that's actually pretty good. Ateba's not really beaten anybody. Bo's not really beaten anybody. He lost to RDR, who has not... That win has... Loss has aged pretty poorly, in my opinion. But if they don't want to run prospect versus prospect like that, I'd probably give Bo either Roman Dolidze or the loser of CLD versus Jared Cannonier, assuming Cannonier doesn't retire and loses that. I just don't like feeding Roman Dolidze to people. I want to see fighters get actual tests. And guys like Chandler, Lewis, Dolidze, they're not really tests for these people because I don't know if they're worthy of being ranked anymore in like where the sport's at. But I'd like to see him versus Ateba mainly. Just because, like, prospect versus prospect, who really deserves to be ranked. I don't know how that goes. It'd be interesting. My boy, my brother, Diego Lopez, wins by round 2 KO as predicted. Weird first round that had me incredibly stressed out. Tried to be a technical kickboxer, just getting out jabbed and crossed. The length of Garcia really played a factor. Diego's face was a bit beat up. Second round starts pretty similar. Becomes a brawl eventually, and you're not beating Diego Lopez in a brawl like that. I really don't know if anyone beats him in the center of the octagon. He even said it in his post fight. I don't know if anyone can beat him in that kind of middle of the octagon brawl, phone booth type of fight. Nasty 3-piece in the ground and pound that knocked Garcia clean out. I am so happy he won. Other YouTubers were picking Garcia. I'm unbelievably happy with that Lopez win and the way he did it. He won on 300, the Sphere, another UFC Noche, and now he's won at the White House. Man just has wins in the most amazing places, had some of the biggest aura shots I've ever seen. Diego Lopez is a star, man. He's one of the most popular fighters in the UFC. I'm going to claim that I was on him earlier than most people because I think I was. He was kind of flying under the radar for a minute. I mean, he was popular, but like, especially after his Brian Ortega fight, he exploded. And his Gene Silva fight, he exploded even more in popularity. I want to run Steve Garcia versus Aaron Pico. I think that'd be an entertaining fight. I think it'd be very interesting. I think Garcia does need to fight down. Pico needs to fight up, so I think that works. There's rumors that Lopez is moving up to lightweight. If he doesn't move up, him versus Lerone Murphy is the only move to do, I think. That's pretty obvious to me. That makes a lot of sense. It'd be an interesting fight. But if he does move up, I have him versus Charles for a BMF belt, assuming Charles doesn't get the title shot. But maybe also, even like I mentioned earlier, Mauricio Hufi. I don't know. Lightweight's weird right now, especially if Diego moves up. But I'm really happy with this card and how it went. Pereira loss hurts me to my soul, don't get me wrong. But Diego won. Josh Hokett won. And say what you want about Gaethje lately, but he just got a really big upset over Ilia Topuria. I wanted Topuria to win a little bit because I like seeing great athletes succeed and being able to say I was around for Ilia Topuria becoming the GOAT. But it's also what I love about the sport most is that you see stuff like that. You see Strickland beating Hamzat and Strickland beating Izzy. And, now Justin beats Ilia, this fantastic undefeated prospect. This sport's incredible, man. I love this sport so much. But, yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'd like to maybe get out my video about wrestling soon in MMA, but I got to do my predictions for Horiguchi versus Kopp. I'm really not... I might watch film on that for a lot of them. Definitely the main card I'll watch film, but man, early prelims and stuff are going to be rough to watch film for. I'll get those out probably soon. It's probably going to be a big gap till my wrestling video. I'm going to try to get my predictions out first. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching if you made it this far.